from Silver Spring, Maryland. This is Global Affairs Network. And tonight's episode is Dr. Oyinkansola. She's an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, educator, public speaker, author, you name it. We are so blessed to have her today. She's right now in our studio. So we will, after this little break, bring her on our show, and we will take about 45 minutes to talk about activity, engagement in the society, and business. And also, as you know, this platform deals with education, politics, but also, politics, education, and then business. So we will try to do all of that tonight. I expect everybody to be tuned and to ask the question if there is any. So without further ado, I'm going to take a short, quick break, and then we'll be back with Dr. Oyinkansola Jinadu.
Look, leading can be tough, and leading without support, limited resources, and inexperienced team, all while managing work-life balance, is even tougher. This is an exclusive opportunity for you to take full advantage of my years of leadership experience and glean from my mentors and all the work that I've done, the learning, the trials, the error, and the growth. You're joining an ecosystem of believers, leaders, thinkers, and doers who are here to support your dreams, celebrate your wins, and encourage your success.
Absolutely. Welcome back. And we have our friends in the studio, the one and the only Dr. Oyinkansola Jinadu. Did I say that right? Correct. Oh, your microphone. Turn on your microphone.
Yes, welcome. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited. Thank you so much for the honor.
Of course. We are honored to have you because I already know how busy you get, how busy you are, always trying to help somebody, educate somebody. And there's a lot of stuff you are doing in the community.
Yes.
And that's the reason why we brought you on the show, because listen, there's some leaders like you. When people come talk about leadership, they usually think about political leadership. But there's folks like yourself that is all doing a great job in their respective community. So that was the reason why we really thought that was good, especially your work that you do on women violence. We will go through all of this. So if there's any beside the fact that you're an entrepreneur, philanthropist, educator, public speaker, author, is there anything else that we should know about Dr. Oyinkansola?
So the best part about me, I think that I don't typically put that out there, or maybe I do, is the fact that I'm a mom. I'm a mom of 3 amazing boys. And my boys are a really big part of why I push so hard and why I do the things that I do, because my hope is, as I help to create a world that is sustainable and that helps someone's life be better, my children will grow up into a world that will also benefit them. It doesn't necessarily have to come from me, but what I put out there, I believe that will come around and make sure that the future of my children is secure. So yeah, we just keep doing the work. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored.
It's a pleasure, and thank you again for the work that you are doing. I think we need more people like yourself. You're a great inspiration for the community. As a matter of fact, let me remind our viewers that you actually come from the great state of Texas, right?
Yes. We're from Texas. Dallas, Texas, is an amazing place.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if politics is your thing, but we will get into that just a little bit, not too much.
Okay, yeah.
We're here to talk about yesterday. Go ahead, please.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, I have an African brother that happened to be a Republican. I know Texas is a lot of Republican there. So
Not
so
anymore. Not anymore. It's changing. This
absolutely,
thing is turning as you know, the color is changing. So let's wait and see. You know, I've gone
absolutely,
out to vote, and I know a lot of my friends have gone out to vote. So
yeah,
this year we're showing up in record numbers and we're exercising our right. And I really hope everyone out there is doing the same thing. You know, this is the time when your voice can really count. It can really count for something. So let's make it count. You know, whatever side
absolutely,
you're pitching for, I learned something that you vote out of conviction,
yeah,
understanding that what is it that really touches you as an individual. What conviction do you have? Not necessarily as wanting to pit one side against the other. You know?
yes, yes. Let's dive right into your activity because I know this is why you're here.
Yeah.
You wanna inform people your Honey Drops Foundation.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us a little bit about it? It's been, I think it's been 5 years that you've been doing this.
Yes, the Honey Foundation is a 501c3 exempt organization, and we have been an established nonprofit for 5 years in out of Dallas, Texas. But we are from here to the world. So everything that we do in our advocacy, in our education, our empowerment, our goal is to do it on a global scale. That means we want to reach not only not Texas area, but we want to reach the world because the cause that we are deeply passionate about is something that affects humans everywhere. Domestic abuse, teen dating violence, and we approach it from the standpoint of being proactive as opposed to being reactive. So us being proactive kind of pushed us where after the first year of being in the community of advocates, in being in their midst, I quickly realized that, and I guess it was my teacher sense, having worked with kids, I realized that there was not anything that was readily available that focused mainly on the youth and actually helping them avoid the situations that we're all trying to help people with. We have a lot of community advocates who were doing things like, you know, who definitely provide a lot of needed resources in the area of shelters, mental health, law enforcement. But all of these things, when you put them all together, they are all reactive. They address the issue after the fact. They are trying to find solutions that will streamline the process, make it easier to convict, make it easier to put people in shelters, creating more beds. And I said, how about we focus a lot more energy in avoiding having our women and children and even our men. You know, there's a lot of men, and I also found a void in that area that men did not have a positive voice for them in the area of domestic violence. And that's how Honey Drops Foundation came to be. And our mission is to create real-time adaptable solutions that takes our youth. And I always put our youth before anyone because they are the future.
Yeah.
Yes. So educating our youth, solutions for our youth and families, which includes mothers and fathers, because we cannot take one and say, oh, this affects only women. There are a lot of men that have been impacted by domestic violence, and there are a lot of men who are also championing the cause to speak up against it and to be role models to show the society that we are men who stand up against violence. So that's what our organization does, and that's what we will continue to do.
Absolutely. Listen, you are, like I said before, a source of inspiration. I just hope all these young women that are looking all across the country and included internationally, because keep in mind, we are, we come from a place, we come from Africa, and
Yeah.
usually those countries in Africa, they're looking for role models. And that's exactly what you're doing. And the reason why we bring you were brought on this platform is to kind of give you a bigger platform so your message can be out there because we really need to, and especially when people talk about women violence, that was so important for you to mention men as well, because women, we don't have a voice. If you've been violated by your woman, those are stuff that are been taken for granted. But
Yes.
so we men suffer in silence. So for you
Extreme.
to go out there and not limit your service to just women, and you include men into it, I think that's very commending. And I'm telling you, that was the one of the key point that really make me want to have you on the show. But you know what? You are very engaged in social activities, but you also, I mean, all of this make you a very, very engaging businesswoman. And tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about some of the business that you have that you want people to know you were doing right now.
So, I mean, when I left my teaching job in 2017, it was a very long and hard conversation with God, and I said, okay, Daddy, I think I'm ready to take the next level. I think I'm ready to kind of leap out in faith and do what you really called me to do. I loved my teaching job. I loved it. I put my everything into teaching. I started the debate coach in my middle school. And even after the first year of establishing a new debate coach, we won within the district the best middle school. And, just engaging with these young people was my passion. So when I was praying to God and telling him about the next step and the next phase in my life, the first thing he told me was, okay, you're ready to go into the world. I want you to, first of all, focus on the foundation. And I'm like, foundation? I said, yeah, Lord, I know the foundation. We started and it's a nonprofit. I'm not making any money. I'm spending all my money. Nobody's trying to pay attention. No one's helping me. And you're telling me I'm leaving this job and you want me to focus on that? And I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I used to be a teacher myself.
Oh,
yeah, I used to be a teacher myself. As a matter of fact, I stayed in the education system for 13 years.
wow.
So I decided to go, on business for myself. But not to discourage teachers out there. I mean, it's a noble job. A noble job.
But now, so look at that. Like now, after that, I did that for like 8 months, and just working on the foundation, getting our curriculums, pretty much everything that the foundation is standing on today, all the programs, all the systems, all of the curriculum, everything that we're standing on today as an organization, which is a total of about 8 programs. That was the season that they were formed. That was when everything was put. I was working out of Starbucks every day for almost 6 months. I was waking up like I was going to work at 6 o'clock, whatever time I would get up in the morning early. When people are stopping in to get their coffee, I am stepping into Starbucks and I am setting up my office, for the day. And I was working on all of these proposals and things. Now, after that, it was almost a year later. I said, okay, Lord, you know what? A girl has to eat. But in the time that I have been in Dallas, when I migrated out of college in 2005, beauty has always been my thing. I've always been passionate about beauty. I just loved everything that had to do with beauty, hair, makeup, clothes, and things like that. It came easy for me. So I was already a freelance makeup artist, but being in the industry for that long, just doing it part-time while teaching, raising my kids, I knew that I could not sustain my family just being a makeup artist. So I said, okay, Oyinka, this is what you know how to do, but how can you make it better? How can you set yourself apart in the industry, create a niche for yourself where you can actually be successful? So I went ahead and I got certified in several different medical spa training certifications. So with my doctoral degree in my pocket at that time, yeah, people were addressing me as doctor, but I was like, well, I am not really at the capacity that I want to be, and I really need to learn more. So I went in and I took all of these trainings. I invested. I fully invested in myself. And I said, well, if all I have is what I'm going to put in myself in this season to establish the business, that was what I was going to do. So I got a certification in body sculpting tech. So I became a body sculpting tech, learning how to do several med spa procedures. And then I also went ahead a few months after I got that. I went and got the permanent makeup artist technician training, which requires slightly invasive procedure. All of these procedures fall under the blueprint that I've created for HD Pro Global. HD Pro Global is the name of my brand. And the vision behind that, I said,
Dr. Oyinka, you're gonna hold on that thought. We're gonna come back because this is very valuable information,
yes,
especially when you go, you think you already arrived, but you change gears, you go and do something else. It takes a lot of courage
yes.
to do something like that to completely change your direction. We have to do what God inspired
I'll
us to
tell you
do.
why that had to happen. It wasn't a
Right.
waste.
Absolutely. So we will be right back. I want to hear more. Our viewers want to hear more about your life and experience and how you changing your community by inspiration and all that. So we'll be right back.
Financial stress is hard on everyone. Your family, your children, your entire life can be affected. With constant harassing calls from creditors serving as a constant reminder of your financial crisis, it may be time to take action. Let our bankruptcy attorneys guide you every step of the way in getting your life back on track and getting rid of those harassing creditors. Contact one of our friendly staff now to set up a free, no obligation consultation to help find out if bankruptcy is the right choice for you and your family. We've helped dozens of clients complete the bankruptcy process, and our experienced team can answer any questions you may have along the way. So don't wait. Contact us now. You'll be glad you did.
Hello and welcome to Vita's Vegan. We are on a mission to create and deliver healthy, delicious and nutritional fruit and vegetable chips that are reasonably priced and nourish both the body and soul. These snacks were inspired by Vita's desire to combine healthy and delicious within tasty treats sourced from organic products. As an executive chef, Vita has studied and trained in preparing diets to promote clean eating and improved heart health. These tasty fruit and vegetable chips are a culmination of years of her culinary exploration towards eating healthy and delicious snacks. Well marinated in her labor of love, Vita's vegan chips balances crunchy and chewy and are loaded with flavor. Taste tested and approved by the pickiest eaters of all ages, after your first bite, you will fall in love with these delights and never think about vegan the same way again. Our products are made to order containing fresh fruit and vegetable blends that retain their essential nutrients. We embrace natural sweeteners such as agave, honey, coconut, date sugar, organic vegan sugar and turbinado. As we pride ourselves in creating foods that are simple, honest and delicious. See the FAQ page for more information about Vita's Vegan. We hope you enjoy these snacks as much as we enjoyed creating them. Here's to our health.
Absolutely. Welcome back.
I was listening to her the whole time. I'm like,
Yeah, actually, those that we our company actually create those 3D ads. So just in case you have people in your community, yourself, if you want to promote your business using 3D animation, that is one of our specialty. We do that for our customers. So we will be more than glad that anybody around your business that want to create those ads will be more than happy to do that for them. So yeah. So you were just telling us a lot of good inspirational stories about where you've been and where you're going right now. If there's young ladies or young people for that matter that are watching this program and they are just thinking about changing direction, changing professions. What can you tell them? Because it's not an easy task. Just wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I'm gonna go to a completely different way of life, different business. And us as African people, we value degrees. We love to be called doctor, master degree, honors, whatever
y'all
stuff.
still good though. Y'all still good.
It's good. The title is awesome, but sometimes you want to be in the industry where you feel good, you feel comfortable with. So I want you to a little bit speak to that. What can somebody we want to change direction in terms of a profession? What can they do? Is that something you just jump in, or what it takes, to do that, using your own experience?
That is an amazing question. And that is a question that actually goes beyond today. It's actually a question that led me to write my second book, which is going to be launched February 2021. My first book is on Amazon, Living Beyond the Norms, because I don't believe in just living in a box. You got to break the norms, you got to switch it around, and you have to create your own normal. Now,
when the book comes out, come back to see us. We will have to promote that book as well.
My team and I are working really hard. Launch date is February 6th, 2021. Save the date. It's coming out. It's an amazing, powerful book. And it's a book that really depicts my journey and the journey of a lot of people. And the reason I say that is because there was something that God revealed to me as I was going through all these changes. It was like God has a thing with me where he'll take me to the high of the highest, and then he'll say, no, I need you to come right back down here. And I'm like, what are you doing? Why can't we just stay consistent and just keep rising higher and higher? Your word says the paths of the righteous shines brighter and brighter until the perfect day. He said, no, my daughter, there's a lesson in everything, and I need you to understand. So that because you have a ministry to teach so many people. I said, no, stop talking about ministry. Me, I just want to do my work, make my money, take care of my children, and be happy. I'm not trying to be responsible for nobody's destiny. And it's like, okay, well, whatever. So when after the whole ordeal with working at Starbucks and everything, I said, well, God, I think it's time for me to get back into what I love to do. He said, yes, you love to do that. But part of what I have put in you, a lot of it belongs to me. There's some of it that belongs to you. That is your beauty. That is the vanity part. And I created you specifically to represent that. But I need you to, first of all, attend to my business, and then you can go on about your business. And I was like, okay, well, at the end of the day, even if I struggled with it, that would just be me struggling and just not making any headway. So after I got all these certifications, I set up my business, I set up my spa, which was very different because I created a blueprint that didn't exist. I merged so many different parts of the beauty industry and incorporated it into my business. Now, I did that because I wanted to create a holistic brand that would offer both beauty and body treatments, right? So because as a makeup artist, I worked with a lot of clients that, of course, will come to me to apply makeup for years. But I realized that makeup was not really the problem. Having that full body feeling of confidence where your skin is looking good, your body is feeling right, so you look beautiful from head to toe. You don't just have makeup on your face and the rest of this is looking a hot mess. We have to make sure everything is looking right. So that was the vision behind HG Pro Global. It's a beauty and body brand that helps women transform their bodies and physical appearance in 90 days or less. Now, if we say 90 days or less, we start from an hour. If you book a makeup session for an hour, that's 90 days or less. If you come to me for laser teeth whitening to get your smile bright and white, that is 90 minutes or less. And then if you come to me for a full body treatment and you need my non-invasive services, that is about a 90-day session where we work with you once or twice a week and we get you to your goals in 90 days or less. Now, we're not a weight loss brand. We don't offer weight loss services, but we work specifically with individuals who are looking to target different parts of their body, and then of course, if you want to get your brows looking like mine, you want to wake up looking like you don't want to mess with your brows. This is one area that's 90% of women all over the world, they struggle with it. They either don't know how to make it right, or they don't know how to get the right shape for themselves, or they have health problems that actually hinders them from being able to have the beautiful brows of their dreams. Psoriasis, alopecia, things like that. So being a PMU artist, I am able to help women solve many problems that has to do with beauty and body. And so that is the for-profit side of my brand. Now, being a doctor, I believe that God wanted me to be in that position at the pinnacle of academia, because everything that I do now involves teaching and just educating. And I realized that I can only educate from a place of expertise. I don't want to educate from mediocrity where I'm just giving you half of the information. So now as a doctor, I was able, and I am able to create several curriculums. Till date, I have created, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 curriculums that people can be educated, trained, and certified with.
Absolutely.
So my teaching experience.
Dr. Oyinka, if you allow me to say your name like that.
Yes.
You know what I know about you is that you're a multi-talented kind of person. I know you probably want to talk about education, you want to talk about your beauty stuff, but you also do have some experience in the real estate. So I will want for you to just, because when somebody comes to you, I want them to know that you are a full package. You know, and you have so much to teach and to share with the world. It's it's very important for people to know that. So I'm gonna take another quick break. Let you break a little bit. When we come back, I want you to finish up that education portion. But
yes,
tell us a little bit also about your knowledge in the real estate, because our communities across America are still struggling with how to buy a house, what to do, that kind of stuff. If you have any knowledge about that area, please feel free to talk to us. So we will be right back.
yes, sir.
Welcome to Igniting Champions of Change. The Igniters Institute supports individuals, teams, and small businesses in resolving complex personal and professional matters while developing strategies that advance goals and create viable solutions. Coaching that transforms and realigns your life and career, yielding immediate success. 8 effective web-based and live leadership development training modules designed to amplify individuals and teams. Business consulting designed to build engaged individuals, cohesive teams, and successful companies. Feel free to call one of our friendly staff now to arrange a free, no-obligation consultation to discuss your personal or business needs. We look forward to working with you.
Do it.
Look, leading can be tough, and leading without support, limited resources, and inexperienced team, all while managing work-life balance, is even tougher. This is an exclusive opportunity for you to take full advantage of my years of leadership experience and glean from my mentors and all the work that I've done, the learning, the trials, the error, and the growth. You're joining an ecosystem of believers, leaders, thinkers, and doers who are here to support your dreams, celebrate your wins, and encourage your success.
Absolutely. You know what? It's so impressive to me that most of my guests, women guests, they're not only businesswomen, smart women, but they're also women of God. I'm blessed to have you guys coming to give us this knowledge, wisdom, and just encouragement. So I want to remind you and remind everybody how blessed we are to have you today. To talk about your experience, your life, your struggle, but also your success. So you know what? The floor is back to you, my dear sister.
Yes,
Take it over.
yes, sir. So the Henry Pro brand was born, at least reborn, from being just a makeup artist, freelance makeup artist, to now being a full corporation, because that is the way I set my business up. And for anybody listening out there, I would advise you that if you're looking to grow a brand that would outlive you, a brand that would transcend just you, or a brand that can function and run without you in the long run, you're going to have to do a lot of work in the beginning. You need to set your business structure up properly from the ground up. That means you get your paperwork done and you have all of your tax and all of your Secretary of State and your city and all of the things that you need to make sure that your business has all of the legs it needs to stand on for longevity and, of course, profitability. And scaling, yes, scaling is something we don't think about. We think about it after the fact. So when opportunity comes for you to put more into your business or to make more arms of your business, you're not limited by certain things that you haven't put in place. So HD Pro Global was born in 2017, 2018, and we started from there. It wasn't the easiest thing. And I'm going to share something that I haven't really been comfortable to share openly. After the first almost 2 years of the business nearly went under. Literally, I was going to close my doors and be like, okay, Lord, I see maybe I'm just not meant for this. And this was just a big fantasy in my head. But, just at the point of me giving up and just having tried everything that I knew to do, and it felt like it just wasn't working, God threw me a lifeline. And that is how you're going to know when you are in the will of God or not. Yes, you are in the will of God, and it's tough, it's hard, it's difficult. But just before you get to your breaking point, like he says, I will not give you more than you can handle. God will show up. And did he show up for me? And that's the only reason why my business is still standing today and has way more credibility than it had when I started. I'm now part of a 40-year-old medical practice. And now people know that, okay, we are an advanced, medical spa. We offer all these amazing services and all the things we do. And now we have also, last year, we started working on our beauty institute. So we have the spa and we have the beauty institute. And to the glory of God, even before we don't even have our 4 walls of school yet, we have managed to certify a few people, and we are still working to certify more people every single day. There's so many beauty professionals out there who carry our certificate for one training or another that we have provided for them through our training. So now I have never been able to get away from education.
Dr. Oyinka, tell me, can you remind the people that are watching right now what exactly region in Texas you are, so that they probably will seek for this information.
Yeah, we are in Dallas, yes. I'm in Dallas, Texas. Every information you need about me is on my website. You can go to my social media. I'm pretty much in every platform, including TikTok, believe it or not. TikTok is a good marketing tool, by the way. I'm on every social media platform out there. I am Honey Drops HD Pro Global. Our website is hdproglobal.com, honeydropsfoundation.org, and coming soon, drojspeaks.com. So all of these platforms provides adequate information on how you can connect with us, contact us, work with us, book us, and just pretty much everything that you need from my team and I, it's available for you to get on our website, hdproglobal.com and honeydropsfoundation.com. So I want to bring this home and just talk about purpose and mission and vision. God puts us on this earth for specific reasons. You talked about me earlier, sir, that I have so many talents, and real estate was something that I never really planned or managed or manipulated myself or wanted to get into, because the time I got into it, I didn't have anything. And I know that real estate it's a big money business. But I was fortunate enough to be connected with a lady who was a friend of mine. And she was like, let's do this. I said, look, me, I don't have money. I know how to do business. But if you think that we can do this together, sure, let's take a leap of faith. So we got into the industry by, first of all, becoming trained. So we got into it as investors to learn how to make money from it, not necessarily being a first-time home buyer. I have a lot of, in fact, I spoke to one of my mentees today, a young girl from Ethiopia who I love so dearly, and she's been looking up to me for 2 years, and she wants to get into real estate too. So we still had a conversation on how she can get some financing going for her venture. So I got into the industry just through the grace of God and just being connected to the right person at the right time. And I had my run for a year, and I'm kind of right now just watching and still going to get back out there. But to date, I have successfully executed about 3 major projects, building and selling homes and things like that, which was huge and was done in the space of about 12 months. A lot of lessons learned as far as how to do business, what to do, a lot of mistakes made as far as what not to do. But guess what? I feel like it puts me in a better place going into my future in real estate, which is another stream of income. The Bible says that you plant your seed in the morning, you plant it in the afternoon, you go in the evening again and you plant it, because you don't know which one that God is going to say, okay, this one bless abundantly, this one just a little bit, this one maybe not so much. You don't know which one it is. So the type of person that God made me He gave me this spirit of when he puts it in my head, it drops in my head, my spirit receives it. I don't think too hard on it. I start to write stuff down, and the next thing I'm doing is I am running with it. Everything that I have ever done in my life, everything, the foundation, the spa, my education, getting a doctorate, now the real estate, is just like, okay, if it's a conceived idea that God dropped in my mind, honestly, I never see impossibility, and I just start running with it. And I've also, over the years, in the space of doing business, I've invented and created an amazing product that I'm now working to license to a manufacturer so that way my products can get into stores around the United States. And I'm working on another new invention that I will be putting on Amazon. So it's just, I just run with everything God gives me. But one of the things that I learned, and the title of my next book, which is, I'm going to reveal it later, God showed me that all of these things that he has allowed me to do is not so that I can feel like I am superwoman or I'm better than anyone else. He was showing me how to do so many different things. But now my life is coming full circle. Now he's saying, out of all of the things that I have given you, to some he gave 2 talents, to some he gave 5, and to some he gave 1. And then if you're able to take the 2 and multiply, he will take and then add on to you. So for every step of faith that I took, I honestly believe God was just adding more and say, oh, you want to run? Keep running. Then, oh my God, okay, she's running. Just keep giving her more. And he just kept giving me more, and I'm still getting more and running with it today.
I can see that. I can see that God is blessing you, with so much, including your ability to convey your message, the ability to speak about your blessings. So that is a wonderful, wonderful
spirit that you have. That is what I do best, sir.
Yeah, and I can tell, your educator part of you comes out. You love to teach. You love to share your wisdom.
Yes,
what we're gonna do is, this show normally is designed for 45 minutes. We're gonna take it to a quick minute. You're doing good so far. I mean, it's 37 minutes, and you absolutely have done a wonderful job of saying what you're supposed to be saying. So we'll be absolutely right back with Dr. Oyinka.
Nous vous offrons un système d'automatisation du trafic révolutionnaire d'une valeur de $997 pour un prix dérisoire $99 par mois. Ce système de génération de trafic vous permettra de maximiser votre profit à une vitesse supérieure auprès des acheteurs les plus ciblés en ligne, sans payer pour les publicités et sans passer des heures à essayer de trouver et publier des contenus sur les médias sociaux. Nous sommes convaincus que ce système de génération de trafic que nous offrons sera une solution parfaite pour générer le trafic sur n'importe quel site web hors blog sur Internet sans pratiquement aucun effort. Vous pouvez instantanément syndiquer vos vidéos sur les meilleurs sites de partage de vidéos comme YouTube et sur toutes les plateformes de médias sociaux les plus populaires telles que Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Contactez GAN Marketing au 202-560-3507 pour plus d'informations.
Vous souhaitez acheter ou vendre un véhicule prochainement? Si c'est le cas, vous êtes au bon endroit. Nous sommes fiers d'être le meilleur concessionnaire automobile local et nous pouvons vous offrir la meilleure voiture pour vos besoins spécifiques. Tous nos véhicules ont été soumis à un contrôle multipoint et nous faisons tout notre possible pour que vous en ayez le meilleur pour votre argent. Alors contactez-nous dès maintenant et venez découvrir notre...
Okay.
That was in French.
Yes, it was in French. My guy, I didn't realize, because we cater to many type of audience. Our 3D video creation deal with if you're in Texas and you want to talk to your Spanish speaker customers, then we tailor-made that for that particular audience, and we can deliver that up to 25 languages, different languages. So whenever you want to, we will do that work for you. It's incredible. They are the HD beautiful, the crystal clear videos that everybody can take advantage of. And don't forget, when that new book comes out,
No, that book, I'm telling you, sir, I will be back, and I definitely will be launching on different platforms. The goal is to be able to get as many platforms as possible to get the message out there, because the goal of this book, it's actually God-breathed. Everything that I do and I've ever done, honestly, it's not because I don't even think me I'm smart, because I don't take myself too seriously. It's just God that looks at me and says, okay, I'm just going to let you do this. And I'm like, they won't take me seriously because I'm not a serious person. I can go from speaking so eloquently to my Nigerian, like, okay, what are we doing now? What's this? And, but the reality of the matter is I love people. I genuinely just love people. I enjoy meeting people. So anything that I have to do to meet more people, to impact more lives, to just be a part of your world, count me in, I'm there. So the book coming out in 2021, King of My Gifts. I'm not going to give too much away. King of My Gifts. Oh my God. Listen, everybody needs to read this book. Everybody needs to read this book, because it's just a message for now, for today, for our generation. Because God says, in the end times, I will pour my spirit out on all men.
Don't give too much away. You know what? We want to be able to read it.
So and God is pouring His Spirit out on everyone. So we need to be very sensitive. So He's using different mediums like me, like you, sir, like so many people, to get the word out there to say, look at what I'm doing. I am doing mighty things, and it is marvelous. Can you not see it? I am doing a new thing. Can you not see it? I don't want you to focus on what the world is doing. I don't want you to focus on coronavirus. I don't want you to focus on the presidential election. Let them deal with that. Look at me. Focus on me, because I am doing a new thing. I am pouring my spirit out. I am giving out gifts. I am blessing men. I am doing so much. Look at me. God is just trying to get our attention, and I am excited.
Listen, the excitement is on the air. The excitement is on the air, and that's what we want when we bring somebody on a show. You have to show the excitement, and African people, they get excited with everything: politics, excitement, business, excitement, everything.
Everybody's telling me don't give it all away. Don't worry, I haven't given anything away, but I'm just telling people to know God is doing some things in the world. Like, it's not even about my book. It's not about my brand. It's not about my business. It's about what God is doing.
Very quickly before we run out of time, because we have 3 more minutes. Your previous books that you wrote,
yes,
how many of them? You have 2 books already out?
I have one now, and the next one next year. The first one is on Amazon. It's called Living Beyond the Norms.
Okay.
Breaking the cycle from the bottom up. And that is just something that has to do with what I'm passionate about, domestic violence, but it also addresses all the societal negative norms that we've accepted. But now we need to break that cycle from the bottom up and switch it around so that our children can begin to embrace the normal, good, standard norms of God, of being good, of having a healthy society. So that's what that is, that book is about.
Absolutely.
And it's good.
Listen, we have a section here called Gain Education that's focus on that portion in books, but authors, writers, and whatever. If you have something out there you want to come and specifically on that section of our show called Gain Education, we'll be more than happy to host you here on Global Affairs Network. This is the best platform in our community. I just hope people that are watching this program today, you get in touch with Dr. Oyinkansola Jinadu.
You got it.
Totally, so a beautiful name. Listen, we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna finish this program pretty soon. We only have 1 minute, maybe less than that left. If you have something that you have as a conclusion that you want to convey, that you want people to know, including your customers and those your future customers, people don't know you, because nowadays we're living in a virtual virtual world. So there's
Yes.
no boundaries. You can be in Texas and still do business here with us here in Washington, D.C. And it's a lot of us here in this region,
Yes.
Washington, D.C. Area. So
Yes.
if you have anything to say, maybe any advice to young people, you take your time, no rush, say everything you have on your mind.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for reaching out and just connecting with me and just honoring me and bringing me on this wonderful platform. What I want to say to people out there is, let me tell you something. God has an amazing plan for your life, period. That's just point blank, period. Don't give up on yourself. Don't look down on yourself. Don't undermine yourself. Don't second guess yourself. Trust the spirit that God put in you and run with it. You have a lot of value to offer the world. And guess what? We need you. Your value is so needed. So everything that I offer the world, education, beauty services, training, just speaking live, mentoring, having heart-to-heart conversations, all of this encompasses around adding value to the world that I am in. I want my legacy not to be how many clothes I had or how beautiful my hair and my makeup was. I want it to be that every time someone came in contact with me, whether it was virtually, whether it was in person, their lives were transformed in one type of way, shape, or form. They got something from me that gave them hope. They were able to look at me and have a conversation, and it put a big smile on their face. I want that to be the message and the legacy that resonates in the hearts of people whenever they think of me. So, of course, if you need my services, I am online. I have online training programs. All of my training certification programs from the Beauty Institute are up and running, and they're available for you to take advantage of. You will be certified as a professional once you complete our courses, and you can start earning money in the beauty industry. If you want us to come out into your community to help raise awareness and educate with the Honey Drops Foundation, we will be there. We are working on so many resources that we can make available. But for now, you can reach out to us on our email, info@honeydropsfoundation.org, or through our website, honeydropsfoundation.org, and we will be happy to serve. We live to serve. But last but not the least, let's get connected, because that's the only way we're going to grow. That's the only way we're going to make this community work. Get with me on social media, Dr. Oyinkansola Jinadu. I am Nigerian. I am a Yoruba girl. I love my people. Get with me, LinkedIn. I'm there.
Before you go, I promise I won't let you go like that without touching a little bit of politics into it. You have plenty of time to talk about business, but I'm a political animal. Political junkie. I cannot.
I almost thought I got away with that. Oh, the network. I can see myself. I hope it's not me that froze, because he froze. But hey, guys, thanks for watching the live. It's been such an amazing, fun time. Oh, we're back. Okay.
Of course, there was a slight issue with the connection. Yes, we're back.
I thought we got away from the politics stuff. Oh my God, I thought we got away from that.
But I just want to hear, because this issue has been on everywhere on major network, including here in the United States. So
Yes,
I was
sir.
thinking, since you are a Nigerian native, this kind of issue should be you are an inspiration figure as well. And those young people that are going through some difficulties and when it comes to them feeling that they cannot express themselves, they don't want. Every time they dressed up, the police are mad. And the hashtag is all over the place on social media. As a matter of fact, my next guest will address those issues. We will go into this, dive into this a little bit deeper. I want to just to keep you in the business section, but this is your time is over. You can actually talk about it or just skip the question. That will be fine. I just wanted to know how you feel about what's going on back home in Nigeria. Is this something that need more help, or do we have to do something? We are the community here from the United States.
Yes. Thank you so much for saying that. Oh my God, how do I feel? I feel hurt. I feel pain. It's the past couple of days have been very traumatic for me personally, because one of the major cities that this problem has really gone south and all of the massacre happened is exactly where I'm from, Lagos State. I am a Lagosian. I was born and raised in Lagos, but not just born and raised in Lagos. I am an authentic Lagosian and a Nigerian at that. And everything that's happening in my country right now is not something that I am happy about. But it's also something that I am very proud of, because the fact that our youth are standing up for something, for a united front to say, we are demanding change. After 60 years of governing us, we want you to do better. We are holding you accountable. I think that is amazing. That is something that for generations to come, we're going to remember. However, this is what I feel. We need to have better strategy. And I'm using this medium, and I'm glad that you said it. I'm using this medium to reach out to anyone who is an international political strategist who can actually contribute to this to help us, because our youth are out there in the streets and they're fighting the good fight. But one thing I know is change does not happen in the streets. Change happens at the top. So we need to find a way to get to the top so we can have the influence and the power to impact the change that we want to see. So I'm calling out to anyone who has any type of political strategizing experience or would want to really step in and has the ability to help us put this whole movement into focus, so that when it's time for us to make the actual transition of power in Nigeria, I think our youth need an advantage, and we don't have that advantage yet. The only advantage we have right now is our numbers, but there's no point having those large numbers if those numbers cannot be put to good use. So if there's anyone out here in the diaspora who has the resources, the capability, the expertise to be able to help us, and I say us because I can never separate myself from my country, no matter how bad or how horrible the situation is, Nigeria is my country. And I am very proud to be a Nigerian American. So yes, that's what I'm going to say. We need help, and we are definitely moving in the right direction, but we definitely need help to make it count, so the lives that have been lost would not be in vain.
Absolutely. What a wonderful conclusion. You see, I was right to just let you talk about that portion of the politics. You will do good everywhere, when it comes to politics, real estate, education, beauty. My goodness, that is a blessing. And let me just say hallelujah. That's what we need. We need our community, people like yourself that bring that positive energy and continue to educate, across the board, white, black, Latino, whatever, Muslim, Christian. Knowledge is knowledge, and let me say thank you again for coming on the show. We're looking forward to speak with you another time. Please bring us the book when it's out.
Yes. So we have a confirmed platform. So yeah, the book will be ready and we'll be good to go. But you know what? At the end of the day, God gets all the glory. He gets it all. He gets it all. Amen. I cannot even account for all of this except for him.
Amen. Absolutely. He's working through me to make sure that you shine even more.
Amen. Yes,
okay,
sir.
My sister, you take care of yourself, and we're looking forward to see you after to talk with you after that book comes out.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Doc. Look forward to speak with you another time.
It's been a pleasure. Wonderful night. God bless you. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Bye now. Okay, so that concludes our first portion of this show. Global Affairs Network. That's the best platform where if you have a business that you want to promote, if you have some social and political activities, if you're a leader in your community, just make sure you come and see and talk with us. Call us, send us an email, contact us, and we will make sure that you be online or you'll be on our show. We want to know more. We want to see more inspirational stories about leaders in different communities. This is no boundary kind of network, no boundaries kind of a show. It's open to anybody. There's no excuse. It's open to anybody. If you think you have something to say, just contact us. What is it? Political, when it is in politics, education, or business. Global Affairs Network will handle all of that. So again, that was a great show. We on top of the hour, we have another young lady who's coming pretty soon. She's gonna come and talk to us about our civil engagement. She's gonna talk about political and social engagement. She was already on this show before, and after the debate last night, she felt like she wanted to come and give a point of view, on this platform. So we look forward to see her. She'll be here pretty soon. So before she get into the studio, we will take another quick break. When we come back, we will meet with this young lady. Miss Fatah is coming. So please stay tuned because we have more information to share with you tonight.
Look, leading can be tough, and leading without support, limited resources, and inexperienced team, all while managing work-life balance, is even tougher. This is an exclusive opportunity for you to take full advantage of my years of leadership experience and glean from my mentors and all the work that I've done, the learning, the trials, the error, and the growth. You're joining an ecosystem of believers, leaders, thinkers, and doers who are here to support your dreams, celebrate your wins, and encourage your success.
Welcome to Igniting Champions of Change. The Igniters Institute supports individuals, teams, and small businesses in resolving complex personal and professional matters while developing strategies that advance goals and create viable solutions. Coaching that transforms and realigns your life and career, yielding immediate success. 8 effective web-based and live leadership development training modules designed to amplify individuals and teams. Business consulting designed to build engaged individuals, cohesive teams, and successful companies. Feel free to call one of our friendly staff now to arrange a free, no-obligation consultation to discuss your personal or business needs. We look forward to working with you.
Absolutely. Again, on the top of the hour, we have Miss Fatah, one of our in-house expert when it comes to politics. She will come and try to dissect some of the, the debate. The debate last night was quite interesting. First of all, as Democrats, I believe that Joe Biden did win the debate last night. Once those rules and regulations were in place, once we knew that our president could not talk over our future president Joe Biden, the game was over. There was no question anymore that he will expose the man with all of these lies and pretension. So I was very happy that Biden did deliver, to the American people his vision to, getting back American back. So without further ado, let us go back and bring to the platform my young sister Fatah. This young lady Fatah Akwe is very smart young lady. I'm gonna bring her up so we can talk a little bit about herself, her activity, but also a point of view when it comes to last night debate. So welcome, my sister. Welcome, Fatah. Welcome. How you been?
I've been good. It's good to be on with you.
Hey, listen. It's always a pleasure to have you. And it's always a pleasure to have you. We're talking about business, education, and then now politics with you. You first of all, let me again congratulate you about what you are a very very active young lady. You work, you're active, you're always trying to do something that uplift the community. Now, tell me, what's the latest? Is there anything that I don't know that you've been doing? Please take over. You can introduce yourself again. Who are you? For those people who just tune in right now, how do they know about you? Tell them something about you, what you've been doing, and why people have to pay attention to this young lady that keep coming on Global Affairs Network. Go ahead, take over.
Well, hello, everybody. It's great to be back on with you all. My name is Fata Akwe. I am a Liberian millennial in between the states of Maryland and Minnesota. I am a community activist. I also do policy and research when it comes to, democracy and governance, as well as conflict and conflict resolution, not only here in the United States, but also the continent of Africa. I am very passionate about social justice. I call myself a humanitarian. I am very vocal about the role that African millennials play in social change, whether it's here in the diaspora or back home. So far, you've caught me with my work for the African diaspora for Biden. That is my big work. I have 11 days to pull through for this election. And so I am working tirelessly to make sure that this is possible. And outside of that, I have my own nonprofit called the Take Back Africa Foundation. And so right now we're really active and working to be involved with the NSARS movement and the role of, African youth in social change. And so right now my team and I are working on a couple of events that we want to host in regards to that, and talking about policing in African societies and what that looks like, especially futuristically. And outside of that, I'm just a passionate person about social change, and I'm excited to get on this show today and talk to you guys about the work that I've been doing. So let's get started.
Listen, now, I guess viewers understand why I feel obligated to bring you back, because you are such a awesome young lady that is doing fantastically in our community, and trying to do the right thing. You're in the school, you're out of school, you're political engagement. We need that in our communities. Yesterday, I was just having a show with African Republican, and it was it was ridiculous.
I watched a little bit. I saw a little bit of the interactions, but you held it down for our side of the table.
It was crazy, and he promised to come back again on the show. At one point, I forgot everything I was trying to say. It was Trump people. They just like their mentor. They just act like that. They talk over you and usually don't listen to what you have to say, and use those got you kind of phrases. Oh, you build this, you build the cages. Oh,
Yeah.
And sometimes if you don't pay attention, you just get into that game, and you can understand. I can understand the frustration that Joe Biden was going on the first debate. It's hard. It's really really hard, to the point where I was saying stuff, and then when I was looking at this, I'm like, my God, what just happened? But I hope right now, if you come back on the show, what we're gonna do is to use the last night debate regulation, rule and regulation, making sure that if you didn't have the right to talk, we just mute him.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to talk. So talking about that debate last night, I know the entire country was watching. When you watch that debate, number one, who you think won the debate?
Biden, of course. Don't even get me started. Biden won that debate. When you talk about, our team working for African Diaspora for Biden has really taught me, how to really consolidate issues and put your thoughts together in a way that people are able to understand it and actually speak to the American people and speak to the base of what it means to be American. And so, Biden came in there and he was energized. He knew it was the last debate. And he came there with points that Americans were looking for. Right now, it's not even about Democratic or Republican views. It's about, what it means to be American in a time of crisis. And he was able to speak directly to the American people. He talked about, the economy, his plan for the economy. He talked about healthcare, which a lot of people are asking about, what do we do when it comes in regards to healthcare right now? He talked about, racism. Something that's really amazing to me is when a leader admits where they're wrong. And that's one of the things that I love working for the Biden campaign. And so he was able to say, I sponsored the crime bill, and that was not my best time in my political history, but I am sorry. And I apologize for my role that I played in furthering marginalization and also incarcerating Black and brown folks. And so that was, for me, was very great to hear him say that. And also the fact that he came with facts and he was able to counter a lot of the, Trumpisms is what I call them, that was happening in the debate. So I honestly think we won. I know we won. And now we have about 10 days to get the work done. And I am ready and energized.
Yes, absolutely. Listen, he came with a game plan, and he really, really delivered on that game plan, which is what we were expecting to do. And when the playing field is leveled, when there's rule and regulation, our man, the president, was exposed, couldn't say anything. And the only thing that I like with him, that he was kind of respectful this time. He was able to talk to that moderator a little bit more respectfully than usually. So that is a portion that I did appreciate from him, because I was thinking he's gonna come with this usual craziness, but he was he trying to go off track, but he stayed the course. And it took the bidding very honestly, it took the bidding quite good. This time he didn't use his crazy stuff. Of course, you want to see, not only you want to see a leader that is able to say, listen, because we are all human, we make mistakes, and depend on the time in our life, we take some decision that we regret later on. But the most important thing that we expect from a leader is to tell us the truth.
Yes.
You tell the truth, and when you make a mistake, you admit that you make a mistake, and you will move on, because we don't expect you to be perfect. But when you come and trying to say, okay, you and our president's always about accusing everybody else except for him. You did it, but you're the president right now. You're the president of the United States right now. How are you gonna go and fix these problems instead of just spending your time accusing, bashing out people that are not in power right now? So that's something that I really don't like with a current president. But I do agree. I do agree with you. Biden did an awesome job. Taking the country to the point where we actually reconnect with politics. We are reconnecting with politics, and we are understanding that in our politics we want leaders that not only give us the respect here at home, but also make sure that the entire globe respect us as a country. This is the United States of America. So when we are being laughed by all country, including country in Africa, can you imagine this little pandemic? There's some small countries, like a country like Gabon, where I come from. It's only 1.5 million. These people handle the coronavirus better than the United States, and we have all the resources possible to do the good job. But guess what? When you ask a question, no, it was not me, it was China. Okay, the pandemic still is already here. What you gonna do with it? We understand. Every American, everybody on this planet knows that these things came from China. But that was not an excuse not to deliver and protect the American people. And also I want to talk about his own health. The fact that the president just got sick of coronavirus. What? How can you explain that, Fatah? With all that he has, because the president of the United States is well protected. You don't just come close to the president of the United States that's like that. But if he gets sick, what kind of message does this send to the American people?
I mean, it undermines all of the messages that he's given us since January. You know, it's being a leader, especially of the United States of America. Accountability comes with that. People depend on your every word. You're not him tweeting or every 5 seconds about any random conspiracy theories that he sees. It undermines what the messaging is. You have to be consistent in your messaging, and people are going to his Twitter, they're going to the White House website to see what is happening next. What are we doing when it comes in regards to coronavirus? And we have no hope. There is no plan. We don't know when a vaccine is going to come. We don't know when we're going to get back to what normalcy happened before, and people are still distraught, and so right now we're looking for somebody who has a plan, somebody who is going to tell us what are the action steps that need to be taken, and somebody also who can lead governors and mayors and state legislatures to make sure that they're making the right decision when it comes to the coronavirus. And so when he was asked and he blamed China, the moderator asked him again, what is the plan? What is your plan of action? And he was not able to tell us a plan. And I think that the coronavirus is going to be a very crucial, talking point when it comes to voting. Voters right now want somebody who nobody wants to be home anymore. People are frustrated. They're tired of being home. Jobs are losing money because, people are not coming in the large numbers. The economy is being stalled because of what's happening. People want to live again. And we need a leader that's going to allow that to happen with a plan. And Biden kept saying that. What is your plan? You do not have a plan. And I think that is where he lost that portion of the debate.
He has no plan. That's the fact of the matter is he has no plan. Just like when he was trying to erase Obamacare because it sounds Obama, but came out with something called the Trump care. Yeah. There's no end. In every 2 weeks, you will hear that from the president or from the Republican Party. We will put together a plan. There's never have a plan. All they have is just pick and choose. Or this individual mandate. This doesn't work. We're gonna do this to the point where they take this to the court and trying to make sure we don't have that plan in place because it sounds Obama. And since he's not a friend of Obama, he has to make sure that we erase all of that. It's sad, you cannot be a leader of such a country and not having a vision. Go ahead, Fatah.
Just to add quickly in there, it is the fact that you had a Republican-dominated House and Senate, and you still were unable to pass Trump Care or able to pass something outside of the Affordable Care Act. You struggled so hard to undo it that now you're struggling to put somebody in the Supreme Court that you want to undo it because you know that you've tried legislatively and it didn't work. So now you're trying to undo it through the judicial system. And that is the problem, is that right now you had those 2 years and your Republicans dominated and they changed a lot of laws and you were able to put a lot of people in power that were supposed to change Obamacare, quote unquote. But it's not Obamacare, it's the Affordable Care Act. And let's be transparent. It's about every American. It is about I as an American citizen benefit from the Affordable Care Act. And a lot of Americans benefit, especially people with pre-existing condition. And if you're not able to speak to that population, which is a huge portion of the American population, you're just talking in circles.
Speaking about the population, you are an African immigrant. In our community, usually people don't really pay attention to the community that we are when it comes to politics, because people really assume that if you solve the African American equation, I say solve because there's a lot of stuff that never been solved. You assume that the African immigrant community will automatically fall into voting for you, which is a lie. We are, like I always say, of course we are a part of that big family called the African American family and experience, because we live here. If there's police brutality, we don't get away from it. We also suffer from it. There's issues that we share with our brother and sister African American, but there's also issues that they don't have to be worried about. Immigration, jobs, that's across the board. But there's some specific issues that we suffered from, just the fact that you have the accent in this country. It's already a problem to move ahead. You have to always work extra. For somebody who's going to have a job with a master's degree, you probably have to have 2 master's degrees. And a lot of us know how far we always have to go in order to just get the same thing our our native counterparts, Americans, have. So we have specific issues that we gonna have to start speaking out about those issues. That's why this kind of platform was created, to to remind people that we're here too. Yeah, of course we belong to this community, but we have specific issues that we want you guys, because you are supposed to be our leaders, to pay attention to. So I don't know if you have what is your take on that?
No, I agree with you 100%. And one of the beauties of the campaign, of the Biden campaign, is that we have an ethnic and heritage, committees that were established, which has never been done before in a presidential campaign. I worked for Hillary for America. I worked for Obama 2012, Obama 2008, and there was no separation in the Black category to say, there's African Americans, and there are certain issues that cater to our communities. But one of the beauty of the Biden campaign is that we have a group of African diasporans that are leading Africa policy. And so right now, if you even go on his website, there is a whole page dedicated to African diasporan policy, which has not been heard of before. We have a seat at the table. And even when things like NSARS, when our co-chair, who is Nigerian, we were the first ones to release a statement. The Trump campaign didn't do that. We knew that our community is a community that, one, has economic power, and we need to see that in terms of our political power. Economics and politics play a role hand in hand, and we are that voice at the table. And so that is the beauty of it. Like you said, immigration is something that is huge in our community, but also being in the healthcare field. Most of us have family members who are nurses, doctors. We have family members who are, essential workers in the hospitals. We're being highly affected by COVID. We're not discussing it, but it's true. And so these are issues that are, our community needs people at the table to have these conversations. And that's why I'm glad that I'm one of those who are seated at the table to discuss these issues, and even talking about DACA, right? Or talking about undocumented. We're not even categorized as undocumented, but there's a lot of Africans who are undocumented in this country. And so we are at the table having these conversations about immigration reform, immigration policy, healthcare, Social Security benefits, talking about, you just talked about what is America's role on an international stage. We're having these conversations because we should be leading when it comes to, global politics. We should be telling countries, this is what democracy looks like. If you aim and aspire to make sure that your community, the communities in your state, is being reflected in the politics, then this is the type of country you should have. But we can't even do that right now. And so that is why I'm glad that we're in a space where we're able to have these conversations and acknowledge that. And acknowledge the role, even the role that Africans play in the business community. Most of us know that we have family members who are business owners, who own African food stores, who own, small businesses. This is the perfect time that we should be making sure that our political voices are at the table, because these policies are going to affect us in the long run and our children's economy.
Of course. After the president, it will make a mess that will take us generation to clean up. And that people have to take this seriously. And that brother that was trying to speak loudly and trying to, without really understanding what the impact of our decision making operation, decision making as voters, but decision making as leaders. The decision making operation is very important. You got to wait. You got to see. Last time on the debate, you heard the Kamala Harris, who happened to be a vice president running, the president running mate, vice president running mate. She was talking about about 186 judges that was promoted, nominated by President Trump, but there was none of them was black.
Yeah.
And then when you see the justice system, you see what population is the dominant population. No wonder. I mean, if you don't have anybody to represent you, then you can complain when things go wrong. You go to prison. What is your black from the continent? You're black from here, or you are brown. Because brown is just it's another way to say black anyway. If we just account that's for the tone of our skin, everybody's brown, black, African is almost the same thing. We're dominant when it comes to things like in the prison system. and because we have nobody to actually see our humanity.
Yeah.
You see how the way that the prison industrial complex operate, with the way that the police officer are having pressure to make up to those quotas that they have to make up to make sure that prison are always, especially those private prisons. Here in the state of Maryland, can you imagine the state of Maryland is leading the entire country when it comes to how many black president in America. Maryland, that you will consider, or even Maryland is a progressive state. We
Yep.
actually, first in front of Mississippi. You would think that the state of Mississippi, with the story, the dark story history that you would think Mississippi would be the number one, but it's Maryland. It's right here in our nation in our states, in our backyard. People
Yep.
are going to jail like crazy. So not only this presidential election is important, but we also have to put a finger on our local elected officials.
Yes.
Some of one, especially in Montgomery or here in Maryland, already believe we just gonna vote for them because you African, you black, or you live in that area. They don't even ask for your vote. They already assume you're gonna vote for them. And that is something that we have to remind them. No, we are educated. We understand what's going on. We will want for you to come to us to ask for us for our votes. It doesn't matter whether you're Democrats, because under the Democratic leadership, we still have the same issues. So this is not about, I'm Democrat, I'm a Republican. I want to know, do I have a seat at your table? And if I don't, then I'm gonna just have to have I have to bring my own table or make up my own seat. And that's what we're doing right here. Akwe, Miss Akwe. I mean, you can jump in. There's no rules in here.
No, I agree with you 100%. It's so important that we understand that this election is not only about the presidential election. And people want to talk about one of the I would say the positives that came with COVID is the fact that we are all at home and we're actually really in tune with what is happening in our environment, in our communities. And I think that was what that pause really taught us. And so it's so important that we understand that local elections dictate what is happening in your home. Local elections are so crucial. Your school board elections, if you're talking about your kids and why certain rulings are happening, your school board is voting to not put kids back in school, why they're voting to put kids back in school, why they're doing hybrid programs. It's your school board that is making those decisions. When they're talking about property taxes, that is your city council. Are you talking to your mayor? Do you know who your mayor is? What policies have your mayor put in place? Any ordinances, any things like that? Those are all local. When you come to, for example, the state of Minnesota, we were talking about police reform, and we were wondering why, the state legislature wrote and drafted a bill about police reform, but it never passed. It's because we have a Republican-dominated Senate, but we have a Democrat-dominated House. And so you have to understand that local politics affects you more in your daily lives than the presidential election. And that's why I'm hoping that this break that people had where they're at home, they're paying more attention on social media, on TV, they're watching more, they're doing more research, that they pay attention and they vote more educated vote, meaning that you did research on the candidate. You didn't just go and check because they're Democrat, but you vote because you understand that the policies that they support are things that you support and you also align with as well. And I agree with you 100%. Most of the times, this is the issue that a lot of young folks are really, arguing with right now, or the pulling the tension between the progressive unit of the Democratic Party and the moderate unit of the Democratic Party, is that you expect us to vote and you expect us to just vote because we're Democrats, but we want to vote with intention. And we want to make sure that the people that we're voting for are, yes, and with purpose. And we want to make sure that we know that they're going to affect our daily lives. And we're not just going to vote anymore. We want to make sure that we're voting candidates in that are reflective of our policies and are making sure that actually change agents, not just going there and doing the status quo, which has been done for hundreds of years.
Hundreds of years. It's time to move on. The status quo have to be over. People are educated and people are not stupid. Stop believing that just because I'm Democrats, therefore another Democrat is going to vote for you. This stuff is over. If I vote for you, what do you have for me? What do you have for me, for my community? And I'm going to watch you. If I vote for you, I'm going to watch you. I'm going to watch everything you do. The next time around you come and ask for my vote, it's gonna be a no. You're gonna
Yeah.
have to deliver. That's why you see, even with crazy Trump, people still think that okay, I have to vote for him because the guy seems to take decision on issues that matter to him and the people that support him.
Yeah.
Can you imagine on the most controversial issue, like moving a capital city from a country like Israel? The guy did it because he promised he's gonna do it. It didn't matter how controversial. He knows he is the president of this United States of America. We have power. We have the bullet puppet. He has the bullet puppet, so he can use the power to do everything he does. The disappointing that I have, I'm just disappointed because the very president that can go overseas and do something as controversial as moving a capital of a state to another direction that will cost our political currency, political capital.
Yeah.
Here at home, just to admit something as simple as to say Black Lives Matter, the guy cannot say it.
Yeah.
That's how amazing this place is. That's how amazing seriously. And when I see this African brother of mine that came and just yell about praying Trump this, Trump that. Okay, this is the same president that used epithet to
Yeah.
I mean,
I 100%.
look at you and see somebody that come from a place that is decent, that needs respect, no matter how tied up this country have with Africa. We have a very important, serious relationship. People don't want to talk about this.
Yeah.
But nobody asks a question how much America owe to Africa.
Oh, of course.
But yet, no matter all of that historical reality, where you see this country here using African people, free labor, to build the very first financial power for free, and then later on, you have leaders on top of this country calling us shiro countries.
Of course, and that's a paradox.
No respect whatsoever. And we go and vote for the same kind of leaders.
That's the paradox, of internet. That's bringing out my international affairs, my international affairs lens. But that's the paradox of why I feel like it's so important that Africans, especially African diasporans, need to understand the power of Africa and the power and the role that we play, even in the U.S. economy. Yes. And that is the importance for us to understand that we have political capital that we're not using, and that is why we're still the way that we are today. I mean, even something simple, I'll give you like a simple fact about Liberia. The fact that Liberia declared war on Germany for the United States in World War II. Like, we were the ones, and they flew their planes out of our country to bomb Germany. But people don't know that history, and they don't understand the role that Africa has played in so many things that have happened in the U.S. history, because it's left out of the history books. But we know and we understand, and that's why we have to continue to, like you said, have a seat, bring our own chair to the table.
Yeah, we have to bring our chair, chair, and that's what we're doing right now. We don't have access. We're gonna create our own chair and our own table, and we're gonna make sure that you listen to us. That's exactly what we're doing here. No matter how long it's gonna take, that's exactly the mentality and the attitude we will have. And talking about, you were just beautifully talking about our contribution to make America what it is, and then what we have back is the treatment. I mean, the disrespect. Whether you disrespect African from the continent or those African in the diaspora, including the African American. Look the epithet the president used when one of us just put his knee on the floor to ask for a little freedom, a little respect for his brother and sister. Is the quality, the way he was calling company. My kids are watching right now. I don't want to I don't want to use it, but honestly, this message is not just for the president, because the president's only have 4 years or 8 if he's lucky, but it's all for both leaders on the two sides. They really have to think about us watching them. And time change, and they have to take us seriously. We're not going to be just a continent that produce, and including the Europe. We're not just going to be a continent. Africa is now no longer be a continent that's only produce natural resources without the people that use those materials to make this country the country that we know today. They have to give us some respect, because when you look America friends around the world that receive, including our tax money, we pay taxes, and these taxes, America take these taxes and give to his friend and ally overseas. Guess how much Africa get into us? And this is us.
Yeah.
You know, we receive nothing, no help. But all that we receive is to disrespect, like the President Trump. That's why I say that's not the right that's the right president. We need somebody who is able to sit down with us. We have to have the compassion or the understanding, to say that, you know what, we want to be in partnership with you. And in partnership, everybody have to respect each other. So we're gonna take a quick break. You and me can go on and on and on. So let me take a quick break, and we'll come back and then continue to dissect on some of these stuff these two leaders were talking about the last night.
Okay.
In a minute.
Look, leading can be tough, and leading without support, limited resources, and inexperienced team, all while managing work-life balance, is even tougher. This is an exclusive opportunity for you to take full advantage of my years of leadership experience and glean from my mentors and all the work that I've done, the learning, the trials, the error, and the growth. You're joining an ecosystem of believers, leaders, thinkers, and doers who are here to support your dreams, celebrate your wins, and encourage your success.
African diaspora play.
We are back with the wonderful Pata Akwe, this young lady that she make us proud. When I see a young lady like yourself, I want I have a daughter, and when I have a young lady like you that is doing fantastic. I want her to watch and see possibility. And then we go on to the highest level. This Camilla Harris is going to be the vice president, the first woman of color to be the vice president. Those are the good examples. And to see our leader on the top of the food chain, calling her names, calling her names that actually ridiculously don't have place in our political discourse in a civilized place like America. We really have to make some standards so that people. This man literally insult his way to the White House, and people look at it and say it's good. I mean, that's Trump. That's Trump.
That's his base. They're used to it. So
I
oh no. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry for that technical issue. I think a lot of people trying to connect. I don't know what it is, but we have lost some. Yeah, go ahead, Akwe. It's amazing to see how people that's supposed to show example to our kids and young people that look up to these leaders when they use the kind of language that they use, and they're supposed to be the leader, not only here, an American leader, American president project, strength not only here in the United States, but across continent, across countries, is the leader of the world. And for you to behave like a little child, I don't think that is good for the country, but it's not even good for our influence outside.
And that's I'm glad you said that, because we have to understand the power that the United States carries when it comes to international affairs, and the role that we play on the international stage. And right now, what is happening, I'll give you guys kind of an international affairs breakdown, but it's an idea called realism, right? So right now, it's the idea of America first, or make America great again, but also pulling America back.
Or America exceptionalism.
Yes. And so that is what's happening right now, is that outside the exceptionalism is the fact that because we're putting America first, we're going to pull back any America from anywhere else in the world, so that we can only focus on us internally. And so that is kind of like the policy, the foreign policy that we've been doing across the world. But it's been countered by specifics, because they're picking specific countries that they, want to continue to maintain relationships with, like Israel, and things like that. But outside of that, we're pulling back from South America. We're pulling back from our role in Africa. Usually, since we're talking Africa specific, usually every president, once you have your Secretary of State, there's usually a policy towards Africa. And that's kind of what the policy that is determined throughout the 4 years that your Secretary of State is supposed to serve. But the Africa desk has been vacant. There's a lot of vacant positions in the State Department when it comes to Africa.
Nobody cares.
They don't really care. And so now,
not only they don't care, Fatah, it's not to cut you up. Not only they care, we're not demanding for it. We don't ask for it. That's why in Maryland we have the African voting bloc, and this bloc have to be able to be established in all states. So that we can evaluate, we can actually be conscious of what we bring into this place. And when you bring so much in terms of taxes, in terms of your education, your intellect, and your participation to make this country, this since the beginning, our people came here work for free. Now we're here coming, working and paying taxes, but yet we don't have the respect that some other the country that's supposed to be friend who America has, and we have to demand that. If we don't demand that, then nobody was gonna, even talk about it.
Nobody
can talk about this position. How many you see the president sending people is an envoy going overseas solving problems? How many envoys that from the United States this year went to Africa to try to solve some major issues now on the continent? So we have to seriously challenge what's going on right now, and have some conversation, like serious conversation.
Of course,
because we are ready for it, to have this decent conversation and make sure that we are a part of this political discourse.
I agree. I think it's very important that we have the conversation, and like I said, most of the what our community needs to understand is power dynamics, what it means to power map, what it means, where is your place in the society that you're currently living in. And I think that most of the time we undermine our power as immigrants. We feel like because we're immigrants in this country, we don't have a say in political issues. We feel like because we're immigrants, because of our status, we don't want to shake the table. We don't want to question why certain decisions are being made. But if you're not speaking up for yourself, who is going to speak up for you?
Nobody.
Of my work that I did with, DED, Deferred Enforced Departure, in the Liberian community when I was lobbying for the Liberian Fairness and Refugee Act, was bringing in the numbers to say that our community contributes highly to this society. Our community economically, we own so many businesses in this state, or we own so many businesses. Yes, we pay taxes. We pay property tax. Here is where we are. We are also your voting block. The reason why you won this part of the state was because we voted for you in high numbers. And that pushed our congressional members and our senators to understand who we are. And also our like you talked about, also our history, our political history with the United States, bringing in the fact that Liberia and has histories, strong ties to the United States based
Yes.
off of the American, the American Free Slave Society and other things like that. And what role did Liberia play in World War II? What role did Liberia play in World War I? What role did Liberia play in establishing the African Union? What role did Liberia play in such, a huge capacity to be able to say that this is a reason why we're here, and we have been here for years, and we deserve
We've been here since the beginning.
Yes.
Since the beginning of this nation, we've always been here. But it is a strategy, a political strategy to act like they ignore us.
Of course.
So if they ignore us, then we don't have a say. You cannot ask for something you think you don't deserve. And whatever is happening here in the United States, it's not different from Europe. Do you know? Do you know when Germany actually took over France, was working in the middle of Paris? The goal have to go across Africa and trying to bring people to go and deliver France, right? Now, can you imagine those people, the military people, the Senegalese people, a lot of them from Senegal, to go and fight against the Germans to deliver France? Do you know they call them names? It's like you are the people that can, you cannot hit the target. That's the kind of, even when these people was the front people, they give their lives. At one point, the French military just killed the entire army because they was requesting, they were asking for a pay. They want equal treatment. So, we are fighting here in this war for you. So we want equal treatment. While they were sleeping, French people came and kill all of these military people. This is true history. I'm not even making this up. You can look at it. So the disrespect is there. It's clear, and everybody can read it and see it. But the reason why the disrespect continue because we are not challenging correctly these people, to sit down with them and let them know, yes, I'm a Democrat, but guess what? With my voting block, this time around, we're not giving you our vote.
Yep.
So then the conversation will start. If we're not doing that, then guess what? We all been playing on both sides of the aisle.
Course.
And nobody cares because they already assume, because it sounds Democrat, therefore my African community in Maryland, all of that's gonna vote for me. You got to pay attention. We are listening and we are watching. We're watching you, and that's a message that has to be clear. And I appreciate your time as always. I'm gonna give you the last second to say whatever you want to say as a conclusion. But just know that I really appreciate your time, your contribution to the show. Feel free to come out as always and give us this important insight on what you think about our political discourse. So go ahead and tell us what do you think this heading? Do you think Trump might even win this election again if people are not standing up or going to vote? Like this election their life depend on this election.
Their lives do depend on this election. I don't even take that as a joke. I think that people have to understand the importance of this election in terms of determining we're battling for the soul of the country. This is literally the election where we will see where America will go. And the direction that America will go, it depends on you casting that ballot, whether you did early voting, whether you are going to stand in line on November 3rd. Every vote counts, and especially the fact that this show is African. I want to really preach something. The fact that we saw the data numbers out of the number of us that are able to vote, eligible to vote, only 40% of Africans vote. That is such a low number. Most of us come from countries where voting is a privilege. It's not even a right.
No, back home, even when you vote, your vote is not.
You don't even know what the election is going to be.
Nobody. You don't even have a guarantee it's going to be counted. But
yes.
You're in a place where you flee your country for the same reason. You come up here and you have this right, beautiful right, and the freedom to do so. But still, you think the bull, the guy that was chasing you from Africa, still here in the United States. No, you're free, my brothers and sisters. You're free. Go and vote. Make your vote count. This is America. Go and
like your life depends on it.
And
Let
also,
me tell you something. It's important for us, especially
one second. 1 second,
Yep, go ahead.
before I forget the census.
Yes.
There's another thing that if you can even talk about it, we have to make sure we are counted. You got to go and make sure that you fill up those censuses so people know exactly how many of us are here. That's exactly
it's important for local policy. The census is important for, it's how you're counted and how they know per capita where different demographics are. And it's so important that we fill out the census. That was one of the first things I did when it came in the mail. The census was also, they made it easier because of coronavirus and put it online as well. I know the Trump campaign just won a federal case where it's no longer supposed to be online. I know that was like about 2 Fridays ago, but I know that you are still able to turn it in if you have the paper copy. Our community needs to be counted if we want to understand policy, if you understand gerrymandering, if you understand why your political layout, why you're voting blue, it feels like you're voting blue, but everything else around you is red. This is how you can tell. And so it's so important that people understand that it's important to be engaged in the political process in general, because whether you like politics or not, it influences your daily life. Yeah. Whether you want to vote, whether you want to be involved, it influences your daily life. And that's the only thing that I would end by saying is that it is so important that you understand the dynamics at play right now. It's so important that you understand what policies are at play, things that affect your daily lives when it comes to local. We talked about local, so we're talking about your school board, your city council, your state legislature, then the presidency. Let's understand that and vote informed. Make sure you do your research and then you go and vote, because it's so important that you understand. Again, we are battling. I am so adamant. If you follow my Facebook page, you know this for a fact. We are battling for the soul of this country.
Of this country.
Will tell us.
That's absolutely. Yeah, it's no more, no less.
No more, no less.
Yeah, no more, no less. We have to do it. And also, I want to talk to those to our people in our community. Those group that we have, those WhatsApp group, please don't use that to just share your pictures and that kind of stuff. It's made for you to educate each other. Please make sure that if you it's okay to be the Democrat or Republican. It's okay. I mean, that's your freedom to choose whatever you want to do. But let's use our platforms to make sure we educate people on policies, because you can be Trump. If you do something good, I will be affected. It will benefit me. Mm-hmm. Like something that I appreciate with Trump when he says he's the one who give a black school more money. And as a matter of fact, instead of black people, colleges come over and over again to ask for money, and sometimes little money, he made it a long term. That is something that you don't have to be Democrat, but that's something that this man did that is commendable. Yeah. Beside every other craziness that's going on about him, the name calling and the fact that he cannot talk to the solve problem like police brutality or engage the police in a way that we can have a break in this country when it comes to that issue, and a lot of stuff. But the man, he act like what he say what he mean, and he mean what he said. He lies a lot, but usually when you do something, it's something very serious. And we want the Democrats to do the same. We don't want no Mickey Mouse kind of a legislation. You don't want to give us everything, just a little bit of thing. Why is that? Colleges, historically black colleges, have to come and beg for money all the time. Should be automatic. Like, you don't feed your kids and then wait for them to come and ask for food. You already know they need food. You have to put this stuff in place. So we have to keep these people in check. We have to keep Democrats. You challenge them inside out. Yeah. Challenge them about how you can do better. Now, I pray that Joe Biden become a president. Once you're a president, tell me how you're gonna do better than what Trump did. So again, listen, there's a lot to go. I want people to register and vote. Please go and vote massively. 40% is not good. We have to go beyond that. We have to go beyond that and make sure you look closely about who is running in your local election, and let's continue our conversation in our platform to make sure that we also hold these people accountable. You know, Fatia, look, listen, it's always a pleasure. I'm happy that you came. I know you're pretty busy. Make sure you come back again. We're gonna have some Republican. They've been calling me and asking me to come back on the show. But I want to have somebody. Those more heads, they want to come back on the show. I want to make sure that I balance out. You know, I have a Republican and then a Democrat, you know, to come and try to balance out this craziness. You know, some of these Trump supporters actually act like him. You know, they really act like him. It's it's amazing.
Trust me, I've seen it in person in terms of intimidation of voter intimidation, trying to stop you from entering the polls, trying to stop you from entering. Like, we're in 2020.
Yes.
Like that's what I keep telling people. I'm like, I don't know if you understand what year we're in, but we're in 2020, and we understand that it's a right to vote. And you're not going to stop me from casting my ballot.
Just trying to stop somebody from exercising is a civil right. You know, hey, listen, I'm gonna let you go. The time is over, and you know, just keep in touch, and I appreciate those comments and information that you put on our WhatsApp platform. So look forward to speak with you again, Fatah. That was a good conversation. God bless you and continue to do good work like you always do.
Thank you.
Okay, God bless. All right. Thank you so much for viewers all across the country and the world. This concludes our program for today. We look forward to speak with you again. If you want to be on the show, it's pretty easy. You know, just send us a message. If you have a message that you want to convey, it doesn't matter what you are, even a Republican. You know, we don't discriminate. You know, if you want to come, if you have something to say, just come and say it. If you have business, you know, come and you know, educate the people about your business, what you're capable of doing in your community. If you are an educator, you know, come. You know, we're gonna ask some question about that, you know, portion of you know, of what you do. So don't feel like this is a platform for just some people. This is a platform for everybody. You know, we don't discriminate. You know, just come and let talk about issues that, you know, matter to our communities. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. We look forward to speak with you again.